What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another movie review. It is Memorial Day weekend. Shout out to all the vets. Happy Memorial Day, and I hope all y'all are having a good long weekend. But over this last weekend, I watched a movie from 2023 called The Hunger Games. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Ooh, right, little slithering snakes. This movie is pretty good. I mean, it's not like the other ones because this one is a prequel. So it's, before, I think they're set at the 10th Hunger Games. In the first Hunger Games film with Jennifer Lawrence is, I believe, the 74th or 64th. Either way, it's like 60, 70, or 50, 60 years in between this movie and that movie. In this movie, we get to see the origin story of Tom Blint's character, Coriolanus Snow, which is, of course, President Snow from those movies, and he's a real vicious bastard. So we see, how he gets that way. And of course, there's a decent little love story in there between his character and Rachel Zegler, and her character, Lucy Gray Baird. And, the cast is pretty great in this, too. Peter Dinklage is the Dean Highbottom. Jason Schwartzman is Lucky Flickerman, which, I mean, is that... I don't believe that's the same actor. I believe he is playing a younger Lucky Flickerman, and the older one was... Hold on, I can go back. Oh. So, Stanley Tucci plays Caesar Flickerman. So is this character here that Jason Schwartzman playing is maybe his father? Because this is a different name. Lucky Retius, Lucky Flickerman, and Jason Schwartzman might be one of my favorite working actors in film right now. He's just hilarious, and he dives into his character so much. Like, he might be one of those guys that whenever I see him, it makes me feel good for the rest of his career, the rest of my life watching movies. Anything that he's in, I'm probably going to watch and have a good time. Hunter Schafer from Euphoria, she's in here. She's Coriolanus' sister, Tigress Snow. We also have Viola Davis, plays Dr. Gall, and she is bad to the bone, man, and she's really good. And of course there's some other characters in there that are like his classmates and stuff like that, but you see how dark this capital is and how the Hunger Games weren't as popular back then, and they're trying to make them more popular. And if they do, and their tribute wins, then they win the Pulitzer Prize, or whatever the frig it's called. I don't remember. It was a couple days ago when I watched this. But I remember enough about it to know that the love story between the two of them is pretty good, and enough that I stuck around for the movie. But this has also got some weird musical elements in it, which I kind of expected from a title like The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Right, so I expected there to be songs and maybe songbirds, and I expected there to be snakes, and of course there's both of them. But Rachel Zegler, I am not a fan of. I don't know why. I don't know if it's her face or her acting. Whenever I see her, it just doesn't make me feel like the exact opposite effect of Jason Schwartzman. Like I see her acting and I'm like, ooh. And there were some parts that she was fine in. Like the first two acts, anytime she sang, I was like, ooh, this is the best take they could get. Like, this is bad. And then in the third act, I don't know if it's just because she has a guitar and like a band with her, or maybe she's singing that, the Hanging Tree song that's been throughout the films, and I like that song. So like, maybe it's the song choice or when she got the guitar. By the third act, I didn't mind her singing as much, but the first two acts, I was like, oh, please stop singing. I'm like, oh, I hate a musical, especially if the music and the singing sucks. Ugh. But overall, I still would say this is probably, like, if I'm ranking the Hunger Games, so this is, I believe, the fifth film. So we have Hunger Games, Catching Fire, Mockingjay Part 1 and 2, and then this prequel film. Now, will there be another movie in between this one and the first Hunger Games? Or maybe they'll go afterwards, and maybe, I don't know if they're going to continue doing these Hunger Games films. But for this most recent one from 2023, I didn't get to see it in theaters, and I'm glad I didn't. You know, I was much gladder I got to see this at home for free, and I didn't rent it either, so I'm like glad I didn't do any of that, like, because it's an okay film, but I would have been upset if I like went out of my way to see it, you know what I mean? But like just tossing on it one night at home after watching all the other Hunger Games movies, you're like, oh, I know the Hunger Games, let me check this out, you know? And so that's where I kind of sit with this one. I do enjoy, or I did enjoy it. Will I ever watch it again? Probably not. So this movie I gave 3.5 out of 5 stars, about a 7 out of 10 for me. But sitting in the Hunger Games rankings, they probably go, the Hunger Games 1 is definitely my favorite from 2012, and I gave that movie 4 stars. And the rest of these films I gave this movie 3.5. I gave Catching Fire 3.5, and then I gave Part 1 and Part 2 of Mockingjay 3 stars apiece. So overall, I like these movies quite a bit, ranging from 6 to 8 stars. You know, so they're not any like crazy low scores, and there's not, you know, any crazy high scores. So the first Hunger Games, definitely my favorite. This one I enjoyed. So Viola Davis is very vicious, and I like the kid that plays a young Snow. So, you know, that side of things I like. If Rachel Zegler wasn't the main female lead and they got someone else, maybe I would have liked it even more. But this movie's probably tied with Catching Fire, but the rest of the Hunger Games with Jennifer Lawrence I didn't love as much as the first one, and I maybe it's just recency bias, but for now that's going to be sitting at 2 in my ranking here of the Hunger Games films. But comment below, how do you rank the Hunger Games films? What's your score out of 5 stars? What would you give this film? And then comment below if you have any movie recommendations for me. I would love to know what you want me to watch next and review here on the channel. My name is Big Cam. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like this video, comment below. It really helps the channel. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that bell if you don't want to miss any future videos. My name is Big Cam. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.